Boys, girls, babes, welcome back to the Jenaya Talks Caps podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us today for episode 114 of this show, in which we discuss your favorite hockey team, my favorite hockey team, Sonny's favorite hockey team, the Washington Capitals of the NHL. And man, we have got a lot to talk about here today. The Caps coming off of a big comeback win against the Montreal Canadiens. And so, to help me out here today, I would like to welcome back Sunny to the show. She has been with us here for a few episodes on and off now. And she always does such a great job of bringing the energy of Capitals fans near and far. And so, Sunny, why don't you just say hello quickly to Caps Nation here, and then we will dive right into today's topics.
Hello, everybody. It's exciting to be back on us again, and I'm so happy that we're talking today about a win. Finally, there's some positivity. I told you in my last podcast that I was going to be positive, and I guess that sort of worked out. So there it is, just saying.
Pardon me, your last podcast? Sorry, whose show is this? No, just kidding. No, you've guested on the show now many, many, many times, and yeah, you always do a really great job, and the people love you, so we keep bringing you back. Nothing but positive comments, and yeah, you do bring a lot of positive energy to the program, that is for sure. And yeah, by the way, just before we get started here, if you are one of the people who consumes the podcast in video version over on YouTube, we did just hit 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which, anyone who makes hockey content will tell you that is really no small feat. Like, hockey is pretty niche in the grand scheme of things to begin with. And it is even more niche when you were talking primarily about one specific team, like we do here with the Washington Capitals. And so it is a nice number to hit for sure. And so I just wanted to give a big thanks to everyone who watches and listens over there as well. And of course, if you do prefer audio only platforms for your podcast, we are always going to still be available in all of those places as well. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to list them all. You guys know what they are. But yeah, I just wanted to share my gratitude before we jump into it today. But yeah, let's get started here on the topics at hand today because Sunny, like I said, the Washington Capitals coming off a massive victory against the Montreal Canadiens, in which it was, to be honest, like it was looking pretty bleak there for much of that game, through two periods, really. As the Caps, they initially went down 2-0 to the Habs, and they were trailing 2-0 going into the third period. So we'll talk about this game a little bit, and then we'll get into a ton of other topics here today. I don't want to, go too much into the game by game type of stuff because we do, of course, the post game reaction videos over on the YouTube channel as well. So if you want more in depth coverage, game by game, you can certainly catch those over on the YouTube channel. But yeah, Sonny, why don't you just give me your thoughts on this game and just kind of like from, your typical fan's perspective, like just the feelings and emotions that you were going through as this one, you know, happened in front of our eyes here with the Habs first taking a 1-0 lead, a 2-0 lead, two-goal hole for the Washington Capitals heading into the third period, a game that they really needed to get at least a point out of. Some would say two. Even with all of the injuries that they have going on, they really need to start getting some points in the standings here. So just tell us like what you were feeling, the roller coaster of emotions that you were going through, and just what did you think of this game overall against the Habs?
So I usually follow Sammy Silver to kind of get some updates on like injuries and stuff. And so I kind of like took a look at her tweets before the game that day, and I was just like, I think I'm at a point where I'm just gonna just go with the flow and just hopefully the universe will do us a solid and not have us hit thousands of posts and like have a force field around our net, like the opposition's net, that we cannot score. So I'm just gonna be positive. It's all gonna be good. We're gonna at least get a point. And when I first saw the first two periods, I was like, I really hope I wasn't wrong. But they did come out like they were a bit sluggish, but I do think that they did come out pretty, strong. And I think for the most part, we did have some momentum in the first, and I think we kind of got caught in after the first goal that was scored by Montreal. I think we did kind of go back to the kind of oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, we have to play from behind again. Sort of. And then the second period, it was kind of like they were kind of trying to fight battle back. Um, and then obviously we were down 2-0 going into the third period. Ideally, you don't want to be going down 2 goals because we can barely fucking score with all the injuries that we've been having. So, going down 1-0 is, it's still shitty, but being down 2-0, it's just like literally like my knife being like just, taunting you. So, but I think like you kind of, we talked about this too. I think the Capitals team and as a whole, we're at a point where just like, we need to win a fucking game like this. We deserve a win because we actually for the part of not having so many players, I think we've done okay. I mean, our defense has been a bit, questionable. And some of the offense has been questionable, but and like the lineup decisions and stuff like that. But like I said, I think in the third period or before the third period started, something sort of happened in that locker room, and you could see it on the ice because you mentioned as well when we were watching the game at the end of the game actually, the shots had just literally it was the same like 2021, and then at the end of the game it was like 43 or 44 to 22 or something like that. So I think they literally at that point were just like, we're done not winning games and we're going to win this game, or we're at least going to get a point out of this game. And so sure enough, we got the first goal for Caps in the third period pretty early on. And that kind of set the tone as like kind of getting a momentum, I think. And then it wasn't till the near end when we did tie it, I think it was. But I did have faith. I was just like, you know what? We're going to score. I know we're going to score. I had at that point I went to go walk my dog, and I saw the score and I went and it was 2-1 at that point, and I was like, I'm not gonna freak out. We're gonna tie it. It's all good. We're gonna win this game. And then of course went to OT, and then I was like, and then we had that power play, and I was just like, and we didn't score on it. I was like, oh my God, please don't
Although
do this to me again. Please do
although
not do this to me again.
hold on. To be fair, because you were walking the dog, like you just said, you weren't watching it. That power play that they had in overtime was actually super good.
No, no, you
Super
told
good.
me that, and I
Yeah.
believe you. But I was just like, it's just one of those games where just like every time you think we should win and we play our hearts out and we never get a power play in overtime. So that was just like, oh my God, we got a power play in overtime. So I was like, okay, we're gonna win this thing. The power play is over. And I'm like, and it's still OT. And I'm like, oh my God, just please don't go to a shootout. Just please, please, please. And then I refreshed my phone and it was 3-2 Caps. I'm like, fucking right. So that's kind of my
Yeah, they did really like I mean to just go back to what you were talking about at the beginning there, like where the team like something definitely happened in the intermission, in the second intermission between the second and third period, because the team that came out for the third period and overtime was completely different than the team that played the first two periods of that game. And you're right, because Logan Thompson actually said after the game, he confirmed that. He said that when they had come into the locker room in between the second and third period, he said all the guys just kind of like it just got really quiet in there, and they all just kind of looked at each other and they were like, enough is enough. Like, that's enough. Like, we're going to come out. And again, you can't, like, there are no guarantees in hockey. You can play your ass off and not get the goals that you deserve. So it wasn't to say that they were definitely going to come back and definitely going to get a point or definitely win that game, but they were at least going to throw the fucking kitchen sink at the wall and do everything that they possibly could to try to get the 2 points. And they certainly did that. Like the shots on goal, like you said, at one point in the second period, they were pretty even. And then the Caps over the last, like over the third period and the overtime period, they outshot the Montreal Canadiens 15-5 in the third period to be able to tie up the game, right? To get the 2 goals by Ethen Frank to tie up the game in the third period. So they outshoot the Habs 15-5 in the third period, and then they outshot them 10-1 in the overtime period. So, and again, they had a power play in overtime, but most teams are not still getting 10 shots on net in a 5 minute overtime period, even if they do have a power play, right? So like it really goes to show that they really just did throw everything at the Montreal Canadiens trying to get the 2 points. They were really, really, really determined on that power play in overtime. I know you said you didn't see the overtime period, but they were it was a really good power play, to be honest with you. They didn't get the goal, but ultimately, like after that power play ended, they could have, kind of felt sorry for themselves and went quietly into the night and, oh, fuck, here we go again, another shootout. They did not do that. They kept coming. Like they really grabbed the bull by the horns in this game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They just like they had that look in their eyes, like they were not going to be denied. And ultimately, at the end of the day, they were not denied as they tie it up. And then they get the goal from Connor McMichael in overtime after the power play had already expired. He scores at even strength. Like I said, power play ends and they just keep coming, right? So they were clearly going to do everything that they could to try to win this game. How about Ethen Frank, by the way? Like this guy, what a season so far. He's always kind of been like for his National Hockey League career so far, he's always kind of been one of those guys that's kind of on the bubble. Like
Hmm.
he's mostly been with the Hershey Bears. He's sometimes been with the Caps, but he certainly wouldn't have been considered a regular with the Caps before this season. This is the first season where you could say that he's a regular, right? He's getting regular playing time. Man, is he taking advantage of it right now, Sonny? What have you seen from Ethen Frank? What did you see from him in the third period here, scoring 2 goals, his ninth and 10th goals of the season already, to get at least the one standings point there for the Caps, make sure that they got to overtime before Connor McMichael finished the job.
In this game in particular, I remember the two goals. Like it was pretty much just like, his presence in general, I think, is very vibrant. Like in terms of the like when he's on the ice, you know he's on the ice. Aside from his speed, like it's just him driving to the net. A very very aggressive play. But it's like a smart aggressive. It's not like too overly aggressive where you're making like defensive mistakes as well. But he knows when he can like drive to the net. I think it was him that made the play where I think it was where he shot the puck to the board and then skated past that guy to get his own puck. And then I think that led to the goal. I can't remember if that was a play that led to the goal, but it was a play like that. I'm pretty sure it was. It was him. I don't know if it was the second goal or the first goal, but it was one of the goals that went like that, and we ended up scoring. So and not just this game, but like I've seen him like pretty make like a status for himself in terms of being on the ice for the last couple of games I've watched, and actually this whole season, really, like ever since Carberry's been using him more. Like, no, we need guys like that, and so it's kind of nice to finally be able to have that kind of youth coming onto the ice and playing with our more seasoned players, and so I think he's been a great addition to the lineup for sure, and I think we needed something like that to have that in the lineup. Speed for sure. I mean, we are a fast team, but it's also nice to have a player that has he's kind of like a mix of like he kind of reminds me of like a mix of Leonard and McMichael, kind of like in a way, sort of. So, but I mean, he's versatile too. Like you can put him on any line, and I think he'd be great. So, and you can use him in different lines where you need him, especially for missing players. Like he really, really, he stood up and he made sure that first team. So I think in general, like having him in the lineup regularly, like even if you were to put him on the third line too, like I can't remember what lineup he was on the fourth line. I think he was, but
Well, they put him in this game. They bumped him up to the top line with Dylan Strome
and
and
Ovechkin,
Alex Ovechkin. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So like you said, like he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife type player.
yeah.
Like he can kind of play up and down the lineup. He can play on the fourth line. He can apparently play on the top line as well. He played. I've just pulled this up here. He played 18 minutes and 6 seconds in this game against the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm not sure if that's a career high for him, but I would think that it is. Like that is a lot of ice time for a guy who was never a regular NHL player before this season. 18 minutes and 6 seconds for Ethen Frank in this game. And he scores 2 massive goals to get the Caps back in the game, get them tied up, get them to overtime. And yeah, I mean, you said it, like his speed is he's literally the fastest player in the world. Literally, like he is the world record holder for the fastest lap in hockey history.
You might
He
want to tell
set
Sportsnet that.
Yeah, I know, right? He set that with the Hershey Bears, obviously. But yeah, he is literally the world record holder for the fastest lap in the entire world. So, literally the fastest skater in the entire world. Hockey players at least. Not sure about speed skaters, but hockey is a different thing. But yeah, he's the fastest hockey player in the world. So like his speed is such a massive weapon, and he's really using it to his advantage. Obviously, anytime that you get bumped up to play with those two guys, Dylan Strome and Alex Ovechkin, like you are doing something right, obviously. And I mean, judging by the line combinations at practice today, that's gonna stick for at least one more game, at least for the
That's
beginning
good.
of this next game against the San Jose Sharks. Ethen Frank, Spencer Carberry said will be starting that game against the San Jose Sharks on Dylan Strome and Alex Ovechkin's line. So such a great opportunity for him, and he has earned it. Frankly, like with his frankly, no pun intended. He has earned it with his play for sure. And yeah, I mean it's with with Ethen Frank too. Like the only other thing that I wanted to say was I know again you said you didn't see the overtime period, but Spencer Carberry and his coaching staff, given the fact that Ethen Frank had scored the only two goals for the Washington Capitals in that game so far, through regulation, he had both goals. So it's almost like they didn't really have a choice but to put him out there in overtime because the fans would have like revolted, I think, had they not put him on the ice and had the Caps lost that game. And watching this guy in the 3-on-3 overtime, he was the most dangerous player on the ice. He created so many chances just with his sheer speed and determination, busting his balls out there. Like he lost the puck one or two times and he got it back right away because he just caught the guy and literally just caught up to him, worked hard, took it off of him, and got the puck back for his team. And yeah, watching him in that overtime period, finally getting finally getting a look in overtime. He was the most dangerous player on the ice in the 3-on-3 overtime, and I have no idea why it took that long for the Capitals coaching staff to finally try this guy in overtime.
I can't put my head around the decisions during overtime. Like, I remember like we were watching one overtime and like Nick Dowd was starting the overtime. I'm like, why? Why? Like, why are we starting Nick Dowd? I get he's a face-off guy, but like, why? We have McMichael, Leonard, Ethen Frank. Like, why? Just start the young guys, I've never seen Ovi start. Like, I get like, but like, come on. Like, it's just like,
No, I have the same beef that you have with like they start Nick Dowd every overtime period to allegedly win the faceoff, and he loses every fucking faceoff at the start of an overtime period. Literally, like he loses every faceoff. Go back and watch all the overtimes. They put him out there to win the faceoff. He loses the faceoff, and then he's stuck out there on the ice because they can't get the puck back because he lost that first faceoff. And I love Nick Dowd, but like I don't see any reason why you would be playing that guy in 3-on-3 overtime. He's not the fleetest of foot, right? He's getting
no.
older now. He's not that fast. And so when he does lose that opening draw of the overtime, you're kind of cooked because you can't get the puck back. And you see opposition teams, as soon as they win that initial face-off of overtime and he's out there, you see the opposition teams, they target him. They target him. They find where Nick Dowd is on the ice, and that is the guy that they try to go straight at and try to beat him, try to skate around him because they know that he's not that quick, right? So
Hmm.
you see that, like you see teams targeting him when he's out there. And I jokingly said the other night, during like after this game against Montreal, I jokingly said like the only reason why the Caps finally win a game in overtime here is probably because Spencer Carberry and his coaching staff did not have any opportunity to start Nick Dowd in overtime because Nick Dowd had already gotten himself tossed out of the game with that altercation with the referees, or referee, I guess, after he took that penalty late in regulation, right? So he takes the penalty late in regulation. He's not happy about it. He says a few things to the referee. He gets himself tossed out of the game, gets a game misconduct. And so he is not on the bench and not available for the overtime period. And so Spencer
Which
Carberry and staff did not have a choice. Like they did not have an opportunity to start Nick Dowd in overtime. Otherwise, I'm sure that they would have done it again. So they didn't have him there. He wasn't on the bench. He had, like I said, the it was not a game misconduct. Pardon me. It was a 10-minute misconduct, but essentially that was the rest of the game because the game was pretty much going to be done at that point. So 10-minute misconduct. He's not available for overtime. Because of that, they have to start other people, and they end up having a lot of puck possession, drawing a power play, right? And then ultimately Connor McMichael ends it. Connor McMichael, too, his first career overtime goal
overtime, yeah.
in the National Hockey League. Great stuff by him. Love that goal by him. Like he just goes to the net.
Rebound, that
Yep.
rebound. We need to like work on more rebounds. I feel like we drive to the net, but then nobody's there for the rebound. I feel like there'd be so many games where if we just like a tad, we're just more, I don't know how to say it, but I'm like just more aggressive on rebounds because I just feel like we
Oh,
just miss out on so many that like, it's just bang your head against the wall. I'm just like, oh my God.
they teach it to you like in mites, Sonny. It's stop in front of the net. Do not do the flybys. The fucking flybys kill you because you're flying past the fucking net doing a circle because you don't want to stop and start. And the puck is bouncing out right where you just would have been had you just stopped, right? So go to the net. Yeah. So Connor McMichael, he does that in overtime. He gets his first career overtime goal in the NHL. Great stuff by him. And yeah, Dylan Strome, great shot there, shooting the puck, put it on net, and
Yeah.
then Mikey's there in front of the net, determined to get the rebound. So it was a great goal, great overtime goal to win the game for the Caps. And yeah, just a really big win, right? Like with how extremely shorthanded they were for this game. Like you had no Tom Wilson still. You had no Pierre-Luc Dubois still,
No
obviously.
Chikrin,
You had no Jacob Chikrin. You had no
sort of.
Justin Sourdif as well. No Justin Sourdif. He was not able to go, although they've said now that he's going to be day to day. So hopefully it's not too bad. I'm really hoping that he and the others are all going to be back in the lineup by the time that they come here to Vancouver next week. I really want to see my full team, so that'll be very exciting if that's the case. If everybody outside of Pierre-Luc Dubois at least can be healthy. Pierre-Luc Dubois, they've said, will not be back until after the Olympic break. We know that. But yeah, at least if they can get, it sounds like Tom Wilson is really, really close to returning. So
Yeah.
it sounds like Jacob Chikrin should be probably, hopefully, good to go tomorrow against the San Jose Sharks. And like I said, Justin Sourdif is day to day, so hopefully that won't be too long either. But yeah, for like how extremely shorthanded they were for this game, I really love the battle level,
Guts.
the battle level, the compete level, the guts. It was a gutsy win, right? I love the compete level in the third period specifically to battle back, and find a way to get at least one and then ultimately 2 points. So, and Sonny, your guy, your fucking guy, Sonny Milano, back in the lineup, and it's
I
another
told you.
win. It's another win with Sonny Milano in the lineup. I don't want to say
I'm
that
telling you, that guy's got something.
I don't want to say that all that they have to do to get wins is just put Sonny Milano in the lineup, but it sure seems that way. Like he's in the lineup, they win. He's not in the lineup, they don't win. And it doesn't seem to matter whether he's actually contributing anything to that or not. Maybe it's just his vibes, I don't know, but they do seem to win a lot more when he is in the lineup. So, can
We
you
went on
speak?
that we went on that winning streak, and that was the first time he played Milano. And ever since then, we had won, I think, like I can't remember how many games it was, but it was like win, 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 win. And I'm like, oh, look at that. And then we took him out, and then we lost some games. I was like, why?
Yeah, it's maybe just the vibes. I don't know. Like he definitely seems like a vibes guy. Like he's got an aura about him, that's for sure. As
Yeah.
the Gen Zers say. But no, he's in the lineup, back in the lineup, and they get the win. So I don't know. What do we think about like I had tweeted out something to do with this the other day. Like I had essentially just said because they had the mentors trip, right?
Hmm.
Where all of the dads and brothers and all of their mentors come along for that. This time it was a 2 game road trip, and so I had tweeted out something like because I know Spencer Carberry, he always likes to try to get every guy into the lineup for one of the games on the mentors trip because they all have their dad or their brother or whoever there with them. So he always tries, he always makes an effort to get as many guys into the lineup as he can. Now, this mentors trip, the Caps super injured, right? There's so many guys out of the lineup. They call up Brett Leeson from Hershey, which they had done that because they didn't have enough healthy forwards actually for one of the games. They only had 11 healthy forwards, so they had called up Brett Leeson from Hershey. So he was still with the team, and so they're on this mentors trip. And so, anyways, where I was going with this was I had tweeted out something along the lines of, as much as I love Spencer Carberry, I don't understand what this coaching staff has against Sonny Milano because yeah, I mean they're on this mentors trip. He doesn't even get into one of the two games. Like you can't give the guy a game on the mentors trip. Like I said this during my post-game reaction video for one of the games. Like I believe it was after the loss to Nashville, I believe.
Hmm.
Um I was just kind of ranting about this and I was like what I just said. Like you can't give the guy one of the two games. Like you need okay, like Hendrix Lapierre and Brett Leeson are just so fucking impactful that you can't give Sonny Milano one of the two games. Like what are Hendrix Lapierre and Brett Leeson doing on a
I
nightly
haven't seen
basis?
Lapierre do one effective thing like since we started watching him, even last year. But like this year, it's just like, why is he on the ice? I see turnover, 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 and then there's just like no like, and even when he's trying to make a play, he can't complete it. He doesn't pass, and then somebody passes to him, he misses a pass. I'm just like, bro, I'm like, are you even in the game? I'm like, get out. If you
He,
don't want to play, just go back. Like,
he's
just go back on the
he's
bench.
he's just got absolutely no confidence right now. And you're right, it does go back to last season. It goes back a long time because he is currently on one of the longest active goalless streaks in the entire National Hockey League. I believe it is the longest active goalless streak by a forward in the National Hockey League. So, like, you take out the defenseman, and you're just looking at forwards, he is on the longest active goalless streak in the entire NHL. So it's not a small sample size here where he is not doing anything. It is a very, very, very large sample size. I believe it's got to be like over. I'm trying to remember when I had looked that up, but it was nearing like the 80, 82 game mark when I had last looked it up. So it's got to be over that now. So I believe it would be over 82 games now that he has not scored a goal. So that is a full season's worth of games that you go and do not score a single goal. And again, he's a forward. He's a first round pick. Like it doesn't make any sense. So I know like he's definitely lacking confidence. You can see that for sure. But yeah, I mean, just to tie this back into the Sonny Milano thing, like it's just that's kind of what I was getting at was I was like Hendrix Lapierre and Brett Leeson are like so impactful that you can't even give Sonny Milano one game. Really? Really, Spencer? Really? Like, come on. What are we doing here? Like, I don't understand why Hendrix Lapierre needs to be in the lineup every single night. I'm not
I've
going to
never
get,
seen him healthy scratch Lapierre a game. Has he?
I don't believe so this season. Maybe at the beginning, but for the last, like, for a long stretch of games now, he has not been made a healthy
Like,
scratch.
like you said, unless they're like planning on trading him or something. But I'm like,
It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the
but it's
only
just
thing that
like
makes sense.
he's so bad. Sometimes you just need to have him healthy scratched.
He's not bad. It's just it's not clicking for him and it's just not clicking for him at the NHL level. And it's not clicking for him in Washington at the NHL level. And he, like I said, he's totally lacking confidence right now. I feel for the kid. Like it's got to be really, by all accounts, he's a great kid, and it's got to be really, really tough on him to have a goalless streak like that, and to have like a massive stretch like this where you're not producing anything, and you're a former first round pick. It's got to be brutal. So I feel for the kid, and he is like he has some talent. It's just not translating to the National Hockey League on a consistent basis so far. However, that being said, like I do think that there would be some value there in a trade if you were to trade him because you can go back to Spencer Carberry's first season here as our head coach. You remember the Caps, they barely squeaked into the Stanley
Hmm.
Cup playoffs. They barely made it on the last day of the regular season. They got swept by the New York Rangers in the first round. But if you remember, Hendrix Lapierre playing in that first round series against the New York Rangers, he was one of the Caps' best players. He was
Yeah.
super, super effective, super good. He was playing with speed, playing with speed. He was playing with confidence. So he has it in him somewhere that he can be an effective player. So I do think that there would be some value there if you were to look to maybe trade him. I don't want to get into all that now, but I would trade him if I was the general
Hmm.
manager. Like at this point, I've seen enough. It's not working out here. Give him a new, fresh opportunity somewhere else. He has had enough opportunities here for sure. Like it's not like he's been, buried in Hershey this whole time. He's played an ample amount of NHL games now with the Washington Capitals. It's just not working out. So send him somewhere else, give him a fresh start, somewhere that he can, start anew without this gigantic goalless streak hanging over him. Maybe he pots one in his first game with his new team. I don't know. Like he's a good enough player. There should be some value there.
Yeah.
It's just not working out here. And the Capitals, like especially with the injuries that they have, they need a player that they can use and that will produce something because like this going 82 games plus whatever the fuck it is now without a goal, it's not cutting it.
I can't, like, I remember there was a quote from Spencer Carberry, like, back to Milano, like, about producing, for example. Like, we can see that Lapierre isn't producing, but, like, there's been games where Milano has had some points, has scored a couple goals. So I don't understand his quote as in, like, he's expecting more out of Milano to produce, where we have Lapierre that's literally not producing anything. So how can you say that to one player, but not the other? Like, I don't, what are
Yeah,
you expecting?
it
Doesn't
does
make any
see
sense.
it does seem like, and that's what I mean when I say that, like, I don't understand why this coaching staff seems to have it out for Sonny Milano because it seems like they hold him to a higher standard
Hmm.
than they hold a guy like Hendrix Lapierre. And maybe that's because of the age difference. Like Sonny Milano is 29, I believe now. Hendrix Lapierre, 23, I believe now. So like there is an age gap. Like Sonny Milano is a more mature player. So that's all fair enough. That's all fine and good. But I do feel like they hold him to a much different standard. Like I know the quote that you're talking about. He essentially said that if you're not scoring every game, like if you're not going to produce every game, then you need to be able to bring other things on the ice, which sure, fair enough. But we do have a lot of guys, Spencer, who are not scoring every night and who do not bring a lot of other things on the ice. Hendrix Lapierre being one of them. And I don't want to hear this like about, some Caps fans are on Twitter like, "Oh, look at Hendrix Lapierre's advanced analytics. Like he's such a dominant puck possession Corsi player, whatever." Like, dude, look at the competition that he's playing against. He plays such sheltered minutes. Like Spencer Carberry hides this guy from the opposition more than almost anyone else in the league. Like he plays such sheltered minutes. So I don't want to hear about like, Corsi and this and that and oh he has such good, he spends so much time expected goals for and all that. Like no, just stop. It's not relevant when you're playing against the weakest competition that the other team has to offer every single night. Like, do you know what I mean? He's he's
Hmm.
he's exceeding expectations analytically because he is playing against such weak competition every night. Because Spencer Carberry, like I said, is hiding him from the opposition every night. Like he's sheltering him so, so, so hard because he doesn't trust him. So if you
Then
don't
he shouldn't
trust
be on
him,
the ice.
that's what I mean. If you don't trust the guy, then you can't use the guy. Keeping a lineup spot for someone who is going to play 6 fucking minutes a night of a 60-minute game, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to use them, if you don't trust them, whatever the case may be, whatever the reason why may be, um, trade him. Like that's all I have to say. Trade him, get someone in here who we can use and who can play more than 6 minutes a night. Um, that's all I'm gonna rant on that for today.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm not saying Milano's my guy, but you hear me every time he's on the lineup and I see his name, I'm like Milano, because I fucking know either we're gonna get a point or two. Sure enough, you
Well,
know.
he is your guy because you repeatedly say over and over and over again, and you shout it sometimes directly into my eardrum. My guy, my fucking guy. That's my fucking guy. That's my fucking guy. Milano, my fucking guy. Yeah, we all know it's your guy.
My fucking guy, man.
Why don't we just very quickly before we get out of here, because I know we didn't want to go too long today. I've been just producing so much content lately, so I don't want to talk about things that I've already talked about and things like that. So, but yeah, why don't we just quickly do just a very quick San Jose Sharks look ahead, kind of a not necessarily a preview, but just kind of what are you expecting out of the Caps in this next game that they have on the docket here coming up against Macklin, Celebrini, and the San Jose Sharks?
You know what? I kind of want to see the speed between the young players. Like, from what I've seen, like, everyone's been talking about Celebrini and what he's been producing for such a young age. Like he's in the top three. I think it was assists or points. I can't remember what it was.
Points. He's
Assists or points or
unreal. He's
points.
unreal. He's
So
unreal.
it'll be really interesting, especially with our young players. Like I'm obviously sort of won't be, in the lineup probably, but it'd be really interesting to see him going head to head with our young players like Leonard and our other young players. So like Ethen Frank, even like putting him against Ethen Frank. Like I'm just curious as to know what the lineups will be. Like we already know Ethen Frank's gonna be playing with Ovechkin and Strome, but I'm just curious as to which line he's gonna put against Celebrini's line. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to seeing. I guess we'll only find out when they start playing. Is it a home game or is it an away game?
It's a home game for the Caps, and yet is it's going to be very interesting who
So we have
they
advantage.
well, they should, but it's going to be it's going to
Bite
be
us in the ass.
no, they've been a very good home team this season for sure. The Caps have, but it is going to be very interesting to see who the coaching staff will try to match up against
Yeah.
Celebrini down the middle of the ice with both Pierre-Luc Dubois and Justin sort of out. So that's an ugly scenario if you are the Washington Capitals to not have either of those guys when Macklin Celebrini is coming to
Yeah,
town. But
Justin sort of, man. You'd need a guy like that, especially in like with the speed that he's got and like just the defensive play he's got to force a breakdown in the rush. Like the way he breaks down the rushes, it's just like it's for such a young player and just getting him already in this year. It's just like wow, like he just in the last couple of months he's literally like become a staple for the Caps. Like we need Justin sort of like you would never at the beginning of the year, we talked about this, never even think of being like, oh my God, I need Justin sort of, but like we need him
now we're
back.
like, we need,
So
gotta have him, gotta have him. I need Justin sort of in my life. That is what I
sort
need.
of.
Yeah, that is what I need. I go to bed thinking about Justin sort of. I wake up thinking about Justin sort of. Everything in my life is I need Justin sort of in the Capitals
We
lineup.
need t-shirts. Justin sort of.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get a jersey, right? That's what you were yapping about. So we'll see if that comes to
Me.
fruition or not. But yeah, Justin sort of jersey. No, but like two games, 2 out of 2 times this year that the Caps face the Toronto Maple Leafs, who you love to hate, Justin sort of made Austin Matthews
Oh my God. He was
his
the best
bitch
34 on the ice.
by
He
far.
made the other 34 look obsolete.
Yeah, it was not even close. It was not even close. So, yeah, we are big Justin sort of people here for sure.
My
Um,
hero.
yeah, he's good.
Undressing Matthews on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, you were pretty happy about that one. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Caps can get done against the San Jose Sharks. It will be interesting to see the matchup for sure. I'm excited to see Macklin Celebrini for sure. He's awesome. I've watched some Sharks games this year, as you know, and yeah, he's just really fun to watch. Excited to have him on Team Canada for the Olympics for sure. And yeah, it'll be great to see what the Caps can do against him
Mhm.
in this next game here. And again, it's a big game for the Caps. They need to get 2 points for sure against a young San Jose Sharks team. So we'll see if they can get that done. Keep our fingers crossed for that. We'll keep our fingers crossed that they can get some healthy bodies back into the lineup For sure, that would be great. That would help a lot for sure. And yeah, I mean, we'll cut this one off here because we don't want to go too long here. But yeah, just wanted to, again, I said it off the top, but just wanted to thank everyone so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for listening or watching, whether you were, like I said, listening in audio only or whether you were watching and seeing our faces over on the YouTube channel, Jenaya Talks Caps. Thank you all so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. Do click on that subscribe button if you have not already done so. If you enjoy the content, we would love to have you along here with us for this ride. Sonny, anything else to add, or have you got any type of cool sign off, or you just basically peace out?
I would love to see Tom Wilson play the Sharks tomorrow just because I love his presence against Ryan Reeves. So
Oh, right. That fucking asshole's on that team now. I totally forgot that. Right, 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 right. Huh. Yeah, I
it's just
completely
too funny,
I
you
com
know?
I completely forgot that. I hope that Tom Wilson is back tomorrow just
Yeah.
because first of all, I want to win. Second of all, I really, really, really not even need him to be back in the lineup by the time that they come to Vancouver next week because
Yeah.
I will be wearing my Tom Wilson jersey. I might be wearing one of my Ovechkin jerseys this time just because it might be the last time that we see him come to I don't think it's gonna be. We don't have time to get into that, but I don't know. He's
Next podcast.
yeah, that's next podcast, but he's got 20 goals already. Like I don't think it's gonna be the last that we see of him. That's just my feeling. I feel like the feeling around the league, around the NHL has kind of shifted where
I hope we're
at,
not wrong.
at the beginning of the season, it seemed like everybody was kind of assuming and talking like he was going to retire after the season. And now I've definitely noticed a shift from the people behind the scenes, like the insiders, that none of them seem to think he's retiring anymore. So we'll see where that goes. We don't have time to get into it now, but yeah, I'll probably, on second thought, I will probably be repping one of my OV jerseys this time around, just in case it is the last time that we see him here in Vancouver. But I hope not. And yeah, so we'll be back on next week, talking about the rest of these games here upcoming. But yeah, Sonny, just say good day to everybody. I don't know why the fuck did I'm not Australian. Good day, mate.
Good night, mate.
Good day, mate. All right,
Oh man, let's just hope we get those 2 points, you guys. Let's go, Caps.
let's go, Caps. Good day, mate.